All right, let's dive in. Today we are breaking down the top 5 richest countries in the world for 2026. And what's so fascinating about this list is that it's not about which country is the biggest or has the most powerful military. Nope, it's about something much more personal. We're talking income per person, economic muscle, and an incredible quality of life. So, what does it really take to get to the top? Let's find out.
Okay, get this. In one of the countries we're about to talk about, living a lifestyle that most of us would call a millionaire's dream is just normal. And this isn't some tiny elite group. We're talking about national wealth that actually filters down through the whole society. So which countries have actually figured this out?
Now, before we kick off the countdown, we have to be super clear about what we mean by rich for this list. We are not just talking about the total size of an economy, or GDP. We're looking at what actually matters to the people living there. Things like the average person's income, how stable the economy is, the country's influence on the world stage, and maybe the most important of all, the overall quality of life.
And that brings us to our number 5 spot. It's a country whose name is basically synonymous with precision, stability, and, you guessed it, wealth: Switzerland. It is consistently one of the world's richest places, and for some very, very good reasons. You can see right here why Switzerland is so incredibly stable. It's definitely not a one-trick pony. Its wealth is built on this really diverse foundation of super powerful sectors. You've got the legendary banking and finance, of course, but also cutting-edge pharmaceuticals, high-tech manufacturing, biotech, even luxury watchmaking. This diversification is what makes its economy a true financial fortress. It's just incredibly tough and resilient. And here's the best part. You can see how all that economic strength directly benefits the people who live there. We're talking about world-class healthcare and education systems, cities that are unbelievably safe with super low crime rates, and a culture that actually values a healthy work-life balance. It's the kind of wealth you can really feel in your day-to-day life.
So, the bottom line for Switzerland is this. Its wealth isn't just about stacking up money in a vault somewhere. It's about creating a society that's built on stability, security, and giving people the opportunity for real, long-term well-being. It's kind of a blueprint for sustainable prosperity.
Okay, so that's the Swiss model of stability. But coming in at number 4, we have a country that took a completely different path to the top. Let's talk about the energy powerhouse, Qatar.
The foundation of Qatar's immense wealth, no surprise, is its absolute dominance in the liquefied natural gas market. But, and this is the key, look closer. They are not just sitting back and collecting checks from their energy reserves. They are strategically using that cash to pivot into global finance, real estate, aviation, and even future-focused stuff like smart city technology.
And for Qatari citizens, wow, the benefits are just on another level. I mean, just imagine this, a country with zero income tax, where your healthcare and your education are completely free and your housing is subsidized by the government. This creates a level of economic security that is just almost unheard of anywhere else in the world.
So let's just hit pause for a second and compare these two, because it's fascinating. On one side, you've got Switzerland's model of diversified stability, built slowly over generations on trust in a bunch of different industries. And on the other, you have Qatar's model of energy-fueled power, which leverages one massive natural resource to build a wealthy nation at lightning speed. Two totally different paths to the same elite club.
All right, next up, we have a really interesting pair of countries at number 3 and number 2. I'm calling them the corporate hubs, nations that prove you do not need huge natural resources to become insanely wealthy. But while they share a similar game plan, they execute it in very different ways.
And climbing up to grab that number 3 spot is the Celtic tiger itself, Ireland.
Seriously, Ireland's story is just a masterclass in economic transformation. They played their cards perfectly. They offered really competitive corporate tax rates and used their highly educated, English-speaking workforce to basically become the go-to European headquarters for all the biggest names in tech and pharma. This massive flood of global giants just supercharged their national income and turned the country into an economic powerhouse.
And just missing out on that top spot, coming in at a remarkable number 2, is Singapore. Now, if Ireland's big move was to attract the world's existing giants, Singapore's was to build an entire ecosystem for the future.
This slide lays out their three-step plan perfectly. First, they made themselves an essential hub for global trade and finance. Second, they created an incredibly stable, low-corruption, and investor-friendly environment that made foreign capital feel safe. And third, they are laser-focused on the future, just pouring money into things like AI, green energy, and digital finance to make sure they always stay ahead of the game.
So, we've seen stability, we've seen energy, and we've seen corporate strategy. But there is one nation that combines elements from all of these playbooks to stand all alone at the very top. It's time to reveal the #1 richest country in the world.
So here's a question for you. And giants like the United States or China?
The #1 richest country in the world for 2026 is
Luxembourg. That's right, this small European nation has absolutely mastered the art of creating wealth through specialization and stability, proving that size means absolutely nothing when your strategy is this smart.
So where does all this incredible wealth come from? Well, the core of it is Luxembourg's role as a global finance and investment powerhouse. It's one of the biggest come from. Well, the core of it is Luxembourg's role as a global finance and investment powerhouse. It's one of the biggest fund management centers on the entire planet, attracting just massive amounts of capital. And just like the other smart economies on our list, it's not standing still. It's actively branching out into high-tech industries like space and satellite communications.
And this right here, this is the real secret to Luxembourg's success. It's not just about being rich today. As a founding member of the EU, it uses its financial power to actually help shape European policy.